We Learn, Virtual Learning Network, a part of PCTI Group, presents before you a session on life skills, attitude and values, and health and well-being.
What is CCE? CCE stands for Continuous and Comprehensive Evaluation. To de-emphasize memorization and development of cognitive, psychomotor and affective skills. To not emphasize rote learning and the development of thinking skills, emotional skills, as well as the coordination between mind as well as body. Innovations in teaching learning methodologies by devising student-friendly and student-centered paradigms. By making changes in the way teaching and learning methodologies are there, by making changes by including more of activities, role plays, and also various quizzes so that students enjoy learning and students also enjoy studies. Reforms in examinations and evaluation practices. Changes in examinations and the way evaluation practices are done, and also regularly updating the pedagogical skills of the teachers, regularly updating their art of teaching as well as the art of explaining things to the students in the classrooms so that students also feel something new in the classrooms, and also doing this by the way of service training programs, workshops, seminars, etc. The training objective. What is the training objective? To understand the importance of life skills in CCE system. So basically to understand the importance, what is the importance of life skills, and to merge it with CCE system, to understand the impact of different methodologies. So whatever different methodologies we use, role plays, group discussions or other activities, mode of teaching we use, we should understand the impact of that on the students, to understand the importance and role of different pedagogical skills, of different styles of teaching and different styles of different modes of teaching skills. We should understand the importance of that, and to also reform the learning and evaluation practices, to make changes in the way learning and evaluation practices are done. The key messages, what are those? Contextually relevant and age-appropriate content should be focused on. It is important to exactly identify which life skills are to be focused and also the reasons for doing so. So the skills which are contextually relevant, which are relevant according to the age of the students, according to the situations or circumstances faced by the students, and the teachers should also know on which life skills the things should be focused and how to adopt those things and how to make the students inculcate those things in their life. In order to organize educational interventions for life skills development effectively, it is important to identify curricular as well as co-curricular activities that have the potential for developing skill application ability. So apart from academics curricular, there are co-curricular activities which are also very important to develop the potential of the child and to also develop their skills and to also develop their skill application abilities in the right manner. So apart from the curriculum or education, there are the playway methods and also the methods which are interactive and engaging. They are also very important for the better skill usage of the child. Since life skills development primarily depends on the mode of experiential learning, the process of involving learners in the activity is very important. So just telling them about the things, that would not be enough. Experiential learning means involving the learners in the activity, making them feel a part of the activity, making them do things. That is very important. This is not meant to be a tool for only one-time assessment. That has to be a continuous process. Life skills development and enhancement is an ongoing process, so it requires continuous assessment over a period of time and across situation. The development of activities and indicators will enable the teachers to be able to deal with co-scholastic aspects of CCE. So the activities and indicators will enable the teachers to also assess the students on co-scholastic aspects, that is the activities part, that is the part which is apart from the academics, to also assess them on those parts as well of CCE. The development of activities and indicators which will enable the teachers to deal with the co-scholastic aspects.
The key areas for enhancing the life skills climate of a school. The climate of the school should be friendly, rewarding, and supportive, in which the child feels comfortable and also rewarding, friendly, and where the teachers support the children. Supporting cooperation and active learning, forbidding physical punishment and violence, not tolerating bullying, harassment, and discrimination, valuing the development of creative activities, enhancing family-school partnership. In this, the partnership between the families, the parents, as well as the school has to be strong. Promoting equal opportunities and participation for all children. So, equal opportunities and participation for all children should be created so that everyone participates and feel a part of the school and feel loyalty towards the teachers and the school programs. So, introduction. Life skills, as the initial stands for, L stands for learning, I for identity and self-awareness, F for fitness and health, E for emotional development, S for solving problems, K for kindness, I for intimacy, L for living in balance, L letting go and holding on, and S for social skills. So each word has their own meaning.
Now, what's the aim of education? The primary aim of education is not to enable students to do well in school, but to help them to do well in the lives they lead outside of school. The aim of education is not to make students do well inside the four walls of the classroom, but to help them do well in the lives they lead outside of the classroom to become responsible, effective, and sincere citizens of tomorrow. This is what the aim of education is, and to empower them with skills which help them in their further life.
So the 10 core life skills given by UNICEF, UNESCO, and WHO: self-awareness, critical thinking, problem solving, creative thinking, decision making, interpersonal relationship skills, effective communication skills, empathy, coping with emotions, and stress. So let's read a story here. Long ago, there lived a man named Naduk who was a rich businessman but later became bankrupt. He felt miserable but realized that there was no use sitting and brooding over what had happened. He thought of a solution and decided to go to another town for trading. Before leaving, he left his iron stick that weighed 500 kgs to his best friend Lakshman. Lakshman assured him that he would take care of the stick and would return it when he came back. Feeling reassured, Naduk happily left his friend's house. In the new town, Naduk was able to establish his business and became rich again. On his return, he started living a luxurious life. He went to meet Lakshman and asked him about the iron stick and requested him to return it. Lakshman apologetically informed him that the naughty mice had eaten up the stick as he had no intention to return it, since it could fetch him a large sum of money. Naduk did not react but calmly told Lakshman that he had brought a gift for him which he had forgotten to bring, so if he could send Ramu, his son, with Naduk to bring the gift. Lakshman happily agreed with him and sent his son with Naduk. Then what happened? After reaching home, Naduk tactfully took Ramu to the storeroom and locked him. When Ramu did not return till sunset, worried Lakshman went to Naduk's house to find him. Naduk sadly informed him that on their way home an eagle swooped down and flew away with Ramu. He just could not do anything. On hearing this, Lakshman expressed his disbelief that how could an eagle fly away with a 15-year-old boy? This led to a heated argument and the case was taken to the court. The judge asked Naduk to return Ramu to his father. He informed him about the boy being taken away by the eagle. Judge found it unbelievable and ordered him to return his son. Naduk justified his point by saying if iron stick can be eaten by mice, why can't a 15-year-old boy be picked up by an eagle? The judge understood what Naduk was trying to prove. The judge ordered Naduk to return his friend's son and Lakshman to return his stick. So, various life skills are covered in the story, like Naduk coping with his stress, coping with anger, and also being self-aware of certain things. Let's see what are they. Certain questions are there. After suffering loss in business, what did Naduk experience and how did he cope? The loss made him feel very sad, but he thought that he should try doing business in another town. Naduk was self-aware that he was in a difficult situation. So he was self-aware that he was in a difficult situation and there was no use sitting and brooding over it. He coped with his emotions and overcame his sadness. Thereafter, he used his critical thinking to find a solution to his problem as well. So, various life skills are used here. And after hearing that his stick has been eaten by mice, how did Naduk react? Naduk knew that his friend was telling a lie and would not acknowledge it. So he did not react at that time. He reacted very calmly. He coped with his emotions and stress very well. Instead of fighting, he remained calm and creatively tried to address his problem and thereby exhibited positive interpersonal relationship skills. Neither did he convey his annoyance to his friend, nor did he annoy him with his reactions. So, when his friend said and Naduk was aware that he was telling a lie, he did not say anything. He just remained calm and creatively tried to solve the problem and also exhibited positive interpersonal relationship skills. So these are the skills which are exhibited by Naduk, and in life we should also try to adopt these skills for better living and for better life. And what did Naduk do to get his stick back? He used the following skills: problem solving, creative thinking, decision making, empathy, and effective communication. He effectively communicated his need and he effectively communicated to the judge that what Lakshman did to him. So he also empathized with the situation and with Lakshman, and also he took the right decision, creatively thought, and problem solved. So what is self-awareness? It includes our recognition of self, of our character, of our strengths and weaknesses, desires and dislikes. Developing self-awareness can help us to recognize when we are stressed or feel under pressure. So basically, self-awareness is knowing about ourselves, knowing about our strengths, weakness, likes, dislikes. So basically, not being ignorant and being aware about the self. It is also often a prerequisite to effective communication and interpersonal relations, as well as developing empathy for others. So, self-awareness is also important for developing interpersonal relationship skills, effective communication, and developing empathy for others as well. So, we all have different attributes and qualities in us. So, how can self-concept be improved? You should believe you can feel better about yourself. Believe every day that I am awesome. Accept yourself as you are. Accept your strengths as well as weakness and try to overcome your weakness. Believe that your future can be better and bright. Act positively and feel positive. Treat yourself as a special person. When was the last time you treated yourself? So, always treat yourself as a special person. Only then your self-concept can be improved.
Critical thinking. What's that? Critical thinking is an ability to analyze information and experiences in an objective manner. So critical thinking means to go to the depth of the problem and finding out solutions to solve it. It can contribute by helping us to recognize and assess the factors that influence attitudes and behavior, such as values, peer pressure, and the media. So critical thinking is not to think critically about oneself, but to analyze the factors, the problems prevalent from the basically making out to the depth and also solving it to the best possible manner.
So a well-cultivated critical thinker, what does that person does? He or she raises vital questions and problems, formulating them clearly and precisely, gathers and assesses relevant information using abstract ideas to interpret it effectively, comes to well-reasoned conclusions and solutions, testing them against relevant criteria and standards, thinks open-mindedly within alternative systems of thought, recognizing and assessing their assumptions, implications, and practical consequences, communicates effectively with others in figuring out solutions to complex problems. So he or she also has strong communication skills. What do you mean by problem-solving skills? Problem solving, as the name suggests, solving a problem. Problem solving enables us to deal constructively with problems in our lives. Significant problems that are felt or that are left unresolved can cause mental stress and give rise to accompanying physical strain. So, problem solving means to solve problems which we encounter in our day-to-day life, to solve them effectively so that those problems do not cause any physical or mental strain on us. So, in this way, effectively solving the problems, whatever we encounter or face in our day-to-day life. What is creative thinking? It contributes to both decision making and problem solving by enabling us to explore the available alternatives and various consequences of our actions or non-action. Creative thinking means thinking different, thinking out of the box, and making things happen by doing things in a different manner, in a unique or a new manner. It helps us to look beyond our direct experience, and even if no problem is identified or no decision is to be made, creative thinking can help us to respond adaptively and with flexibility to the situations of our daily lives. So whatever situations or whatever problems to our daily lives are, those can be creatively also solved. We just need to think out of the way, out of the box. What is decision making? In its simplest sense, decision making is the act of choosing between two or more courses of action. However, it must always be remembered that there may not always be a correct decision among the available choices. So decision making is simply choosing one course of action when you have a lot of options or choices in front of you. And that course of action a person chooses for one's benefit only. And no decision is wrong or right. A decision is a decision, and it must always be remembered that there may not always be a correct decision among the available choices. The decisions depends upon individuals to individuals, from person to persons. So what is effective decision making and how it can be made? Although decisions can be made using either intuition, gut feelings, or reasoning, a combination of both approaches is often used. Whatever approach is used, it is usually helpful to structure decision making in order to reduce more complicated decisions down to simpler steps. We should always cut down or reduce the complicated decisions to simpler steps. We should have steps and simpler steps to reduce complicated decisions. See how any decisions are arrived at. How the decisions should be arrived at. Plan decision making to meet deadlines as well. So we should plan our decisions to meet deadlines as well. There are 6 steps to become a better decision maker. First is the definition of the problem. To define the problem, that what is the problem? You should know, you should be aware about the problem. Next is assess the implications. You should assess or you should analyze the consequences or the impact of that problem, or if a decision taken in that particular direction. Explore different perspectives. You should explore, you should analyze different viewpoints, different perspectives to solve that problem. Get clear on your ideal outcome. What kind of outcome, what kind of result do you want? You should be clear on that. Weigh up pros and cons. You should weigh up advantages and disadvantages of that particular course of action. Decide and act. Then you should decide and quickly act and take the decision. So these are the 6 steps to take the decision in a better manner. Next is interpersonal relationship skills. What are they? Interpersonal relationship skills, it means that in a society we have to deal with different people. The relationship skills or the kind of relationships we form with different people in the society, these are known as interpersonal relationship skills, means relationships or positive relationships between 2 or more than 2 people. It helps us to relate in positive ways with the people we interact with. This may mean being able to make and keep friendly relationships, which can be of great importance to our mental and social well-being. It may mean keeping good relations with family members, which are an important source of social support. It may also mean being able to end relationships constructively. It does not mean that only keeping relationships which are also a burden on you. If you want to end the relationships, then you should end it constructively and on a positive note. But when socially, in the social context, we should have relations, or we should develop those relations which are positive for our mental well-being, and for also which develop our social skills. So we should form relationships with those people we feel comfortable to interact with, and also keep friendly relationships with each other, which can be of great importance to our mental and social well-being. That's all in this part of the session. The next things will be carried on in the next part of the session. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.